In this video we're going to be looking at LXDE desktop customization, and in particular we'll be looking at creating a new LXDE panel and also changing the desktop wallpaper. So I think what we'll do first of all is create the panel. So first thing we do is move our mouse down over an existing panel. In this case we've just got the default panel at the bottom. We right click the mouse and we choose the option create new panel. Just left click on that, up comes this rather fetching dialog box. So as you can see, it's a multi-tab box here. The default tab here is called geometry, and this allows you to specify whereabouts you want the actual toolbar and the size, etc. So if I click through these options here, you can see I can have it on the top of the screen, on the left, on the right. Well, actually let me put it on the bottom because I've already got a panel on the bottom. So let's stick with the right hand side here. If I go over here and change the height, I can move it, make it smaller, and I can also either increase or decrease the width. So we're going to leave it at that. Alignment, I can have it towards the bottom of the screen, the top of the screen, or in the center. So I'm going to leave it there in the center. We can also change the size of the icons on the desktop, but I'm going to leave that one as default. I'm going to click across to the second tab called Appearance. So if I click on that, this allows me to change the background of the actual panel. So I'm going to click on this solid color option and then click into this icon here. This allows me to pick out a particular color from the spectrum. I'll just click on this one in yellow. So I'm going to pick this pipette up and I'm going to choose a yellow from round about here. There we go. Now this opacity slider helps me to make it more or less transparent. I'm going to leave it kind of towards the opaque end of the spectrum, somewhat translucent. And I'm going to click on OK. As you can see, my panel has now changed colour. If there was something a bit more on the desktop, you'll be able to see that translucency a bit better. Let's try and move that down, see if you can see through to the wallpaper a bit better. You can just see the wallpaper behind there with the transparency set like that. So I'm going to go back into my panel settings windows here. So that's the Appearance tab. If I click across to the next tab along, it's called the Panel Applets, and this is where we add our various icons and things. It's very similar to widgets in KDE. So to add a new applet, I'm going to click on the Add button, and all you need to do is to scroll up and down here and select the icon that you want from this list. I'm just going to go with the top few. I'm going to add it there, and if you want to add more than one, you have to come back in and select them one at a time. Okay, so I'm just going to take, say, the first four on the top here. Okay, so as you can see here, we've got our icons added. Okay, so we've added our applets here. So they haven't really taken up the whole space in the panel, so I'm going to click back on this geometry tab and change the height so I can adjust it to the size of my icons. There we go. And let's make them just a little bit bigger by increasing the width. And at this point, if I want to, I can increase the size of the icons out here and then change the height accordingly. If I click on the right button, there we go. It's a little bit of lag, as you can see when you're resizing, but it's not too much of a problem. Okay, so that's the Panel Applet tab. So this last tab is called the Advanced tab. This has various other things in here, like setting up your preferred applications. But when we're setting up a panel here, the main use is to specify exactly how and when you want the panel to display. So, for instance, if I tick this box here, you can see that it will minimize the panel when not in use, and then when I put my mouse across it, it will appear. You can change the minimize size here, so down to a minimum of 2 pixels, or you can actually increase it up so you can actually see a little bit of the panel before you mouse over it. So I'm going to leave it about there. So when you've got your panel looking exactly how you want it, all you need to do is just click on the close button, and there you have it. There's your handy dandy little new panel. Now, one other thing we can do in LXDE, if we right click on anywhere on the blank screen, we can choose the desktop preferences, and from here we can set up a different wallpaper. So I'm going to click on this icon here and choose this fetching alternative to the Lubuntu desktop wallpaper. Okay, I can also change the way that the image is displayed. Okay, stretch to fit the screen. I can center it on the screen, or I can tile it onto the whole screen. I kind of liked the original way, so I'm going to keep it at that. Okay, in this bottom half of the screen we can change the font that is used to label the different icons here. So for instance, I can click on the size here and make the font size a little bit bigger. Say let's go up to 14 and see how that looks. So you can see here it's truncated it off a little bit, but it's made the text a little bit bigger. And if I don't like the Ubuntu font, I can indeed change to a completely different font, like for instance Nimbus. And those are just some of the ways that you can customize LXDE. Thanks for watching.